So here's a quick demonstration of the Nearpod software. I've created the lesson prior and everything's ready to go. So I would start the lesson and students just would see this either on a screen, a projector screen, or you could even just write this on your chalkboard. The students then take this pin and using their device they can just log in using that pin. So XQRGZ XQRGZ. I'm also going to do this on my iPad. XQRZG join. Now obviously as you can see XQRGZ join. So obviously as you can see students then have the opportunity to input their first name or last name or however you want to refer to the students. So I'll just do Jason and then Heaton. Okay, so students join. As the students join on the teacher side of things, you can see that their names have popped up behind those names or behind my pin screen right here. So then I can kind of see who is logged into the session and who is not. So I close that, go over to the first question. Both on my iPad and on the student lesson they would see this. Just an open-ended question, what is tablature? This is probably something that we've reviewed in the past. I'll just go ahead and answer it. Hit send. It says thank you. Okay, as the answers come in on the teacher side of things, you'll see the answers coming in. So you can obviously see which ones are correct or which ones are more correct than others. And if you want to, then you can then share the answers with the class. Okay, so this answer would then appear on all the students' devices, on all the students' websites, completely anonymous. You know, you're not sharing anybody's specific answer. You're just sharing one of the answers that came back. Let's say one of the answers came back and it was not the correct answer, but you know, you could explain how to do it better. So you share that answer, and then this answer would appear on all the students' web pages and whatnot. So moving on with the lesson, we would then rehash what we talked about yesterday. This is all just uploaded PowerPoint material. So it is nothing that I knew that I had to create. This is all stuff that I've done before, just uploaded with a few simple clicks. So my next question looks like this. Using the pen feature in the lower left corner of your screen, circle the highest sounding string in red, circle the lowest sounding string in blue. You know, when students are doing this on a computer, this might pose some issues with the drawing feature because it's like, oh, look how terrible that was. And then I want to draw in red, so it's like, oh, look at me circle something. So on a computer it might be a little more difficult, but here on my iPad, I'll just do it real quick. Obviously with the iPad you are pointing and moving your finger, so it's much easier to kind of draw something like this. So you would send both of these, and then on the teacher side of things you would see both results right there. Obviously this one looks to be a little better. I'm going to go ahead and share that one with the class. I click share, and then the students all see that example on their screens. Okay, here's the correct answer to that question. So there's just several different assessment types of questions that you can do with this. Obviously I'm going to go over what we just talked about for anybody who didn't know what that is. Okay, this part allows you to
Tablature is the same for electric guitar and acoustic guitar.
To embed.
Six lines which represent the strings of the guitar.
So this obviously lets you include a oh dang it.
The top line represents the thinning.
Okay, so for this, if you are going to input video, it would be wise to have a headphone setup for each student to avoid having all the computers play at slightly different times. But this is just a video that I downloaded using a different source and included here in my presentation. This particular video is on my computer's hard drive, and I had to upload it. The premium or paid version of Nearpod would allow you to simply embed YouTube clips. which obviously would make things much easier if you can afford the subscription. So then the students would watch a short video clip. I would then give another thing to talk about what that video clip said. Okay, so here is another assessment, and this is actually a 3-part quiz. Okay, so the students then have the opportunity to answer several different questions based on whatever they just learned. So I'm going to just answer 3 random answers here. Maybe I got some of them right. Do it on my iPad also. I'm actually not reading the questions, so I don't know what I got right and what I got wrong, but it's kind of by design. So now over here on this other side of thing, once all the students get done answering the questions, you can see that this student got a 3 out of 3. All the questions were correct. This student obviously did not get all of the questions correct, but you can see which ones the students answered instead of the correct answers. So when I share this with the students, they just see what they personally got correct. Over on my iPad, which you can't see, I actually have 2/3 of my pie is red for incorrect answers that I got. Okay, so it allows you to see what you answered and what the correct answers are as well. Correct answers obviously in green. If I would have answered one of the wrong questions, then this circle would have been highlighted instead. So it just gives you several different forms of assessment all throughout the piece or throughout the lesson, and you can go over certain things with the students, but make sure that you get feedback from those students throughout the lesson instead of getting through the whole thing, doing an activity and learning that the last 20 minutes was wasted because they didn't understand what you said in the first 5 minutes of your presentation. Okay, so it allows you to just take assessment really, really easily throughout the lesson rather than try to do it all at the end and collect papers and then grade all the papers. Everything is just sent straight to your email, a complete feedback about everything you covered and what the students answered is in one compiled PDF file, very easy to read and understand. Another form of assessment that you could do is just checking the box. I wanted to know what's the hardest part of tablature for you students? What is something that we could focus on? Well, let's say they have multiple answers. They can now select all the answers that you could possibly want to select. Check all that apply. So I send those. And then I can even go one step farther and just have them answer an open-ended question if I so felt like it. So that's essentially what we're looking at with Nearpod. And then after you answer all that stuff, you can actually get all of these things sent to your email address, and it will show you a complete breakdown of all the student answers for the entire presentation. What students answered what, the percentage of students that got it correct, what the students who got it incorrect said. Obviously, it can't grade open-ended questions. You still have to grade those yourself, but it can at least compile all of them with student feedback for you. So that's essentially what I got with the Nearpod software. Incredibly useful device because it really eliminates or diminishes the time needed for transitions. You know, going from a point of instruction within the lesson to a point of assessment within the lesson to giving constructive feedback about the lesson or something like that. An exit ticket, a warm-up, a pre-assessment, all that stuff is just connected into one seamless presentation that can last however long you want it to. When you embed the video clip, you know, you're now embedding an activity for some students to just pay attention to something else for a second. You know, it's just a seamless form of instruction that is really, really helpful.